Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophia, piloting into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue exploring classical China era's concepts. And in September, we're going to focus on some Taoism inspired uh, concepts. Okay, fate, big deal, right? In both English and Chinese, we have this concept of fate as if it's pre-written, pre-scripted lifetime events unfolding. We know it's not true, but both English and Chinese have the sense of fate, as if somebody already decides how your life is going to unfold. But we know life is emerging. It's not by any means determined or predetermined or predestined, even if we like to connect the dots and make our little theories about this leads to that and that. Yes, Steve Jobs talks about how looking back down life, you can connect the dots. You cannot connect forward. You can only connect backwards. Yes, we can explain our life always, but I mean, of course, it's going to turn out like that. Whatever you end up with, you can always look back, point out the main affecting influencing factors or events happen in the past that lead you to where you are. That just shows that you are able to pin down some major factors. It doesn't mean that happened predetermined, right? It's a totally different thing. Anyways, how Chinese express the sense of fate. Okay, we have this triangle, and Chinese triangle is not a perfect three corners connected, linked triangle as in mathematical triangle like that. Chinese triangle is this roof shape and then with horizontal line with, I guess, almost intentionally open edges of there. That's Chinese triangle. Chinese often use triangle to mean gathering. And when we observe physical things like a pile of sand on the ground, if you drop a bucket of sand, it's going to have a cone shape, right? Because of gravity, things are going to pile down like that in a cone. And Chinese 2D media, we can only describe a world in this 2D frame. And so this cone shape end up as this triangle shape on here that almost symbolize how society, human society, organizes itself. If you have this pile of lives, different ages, genders, generations, in terms of in America, it's like more immigrants or other attributes, different ethnicities, things get complicated, right? In China too, we have different ethnicities over there. But like given this pile of people coming with different attributes, strengths, weakness, how things are going to turn out. It's going to turn like this pile of sand with one particular one on the top, everybody else below, and you have a bigger base, roughly the triangle shape. So that's the human hierarchy. And Chinese capture that early on like that. But to simplify, if we don't read too much into this, social hierarchy meaning into it, it simply shows gathering. Lot of same thing gathering there. We have talked about mineral, not mineral, mining or metal. The concept of jin, metal, is also made of this gathering of things because it's about a gathering of the minerals underground that's worthy of your effort of mining, right? So this gathering have been used in different ways to create a sense of, in this case, face. That means gathering of people, a pile of people over there. And this people, there are two characters here. One is the mouse symbol on the left side, and the other one is the person, kind of a kneeling position. Okay, when I say mouse symbol, eventually I trace all the way back. It's a pot, it's a cookware. And ancient times, cookware, I guess, is the center of the household. And we use that eventually, the cookware, to symbolize or to associate or to replace the diners. We use the dining tool to replace the diner symbol. And those two upward pointing things are the handles of the pot. Okay. Cookware symbolized mouse symbol means somebody speaking. And then this kneeling position person, we say kneeling is because when we have this full standing person point of view, it will be leftward pointing or facing human figures. A profile view, we have a back and a front, simply front side of the body, back side of the body, and this is a standing person. When we have a kneeling person, this front side, it's almost like your arms are going to touch your knees, that you are going to fold your body neatly. And in some rendering here, it doesn't show all the details, but the knee would be bent over, and then you have your feet kind of upward, and you're sitting on top of your heels, kind of a yoga pose though. But that's ancient times common posture, I guess, before I have the chairs, things like that. When people sitting on their heels, we call it a kneeling position. That signifies that person is in submission, because when you're kneeling, not standing, you automatically give up your best chance to win, to fight. So if you're in front of your enemy tribe, if you kneel, that means you already give up fighting. And if you're in front of authorities, in this case, it's the mouse symbol representative giving orders, the person who is speaking, kind of telling you what to do. And the right side would be the receiving end, the person who kneeled down receiving the message without a fight. It's in submission. Okay, so the fate image then is created of this gathering of this lots of kneeling person with one mouse symbol giving orders, telling them what to do. And originally it came from the human hierarchical society's way of operating, because humans are social animals. To collectively win something, say your tribe against the other tribe, everybody have to work together within this tribe, right? So we can only have one voice, one strategy, one action plan, and that's the mouse symbol representing right there. And then the rest of the pile of people in submission, listening to this one voice, are going to carry out the action plan from according to this one person. And that is the begin I guess the situation where the fate came out of. Is like you are going to take action according to somebody else's instructions or action plan, somebody else's script. You're acting out somebody else's movie, and eventually this power struggle, at least if we have the mouse symbol, it still symbolizes a human mouse. Then it's a human to another human or group of human. So the power structure is within the human power structure. And eventually, when we say fate, this somebody's giving instruction is almost like abstract. It's divinity. It's beyond human world, beyond our understanding, and we don't even exactly know what's the script, except that something happened, and then we try to explain. Oh, it must meant to be, and that's how we explain our own life and feel kind of give up a little bit, so that it's not all my own doing. It is fate. It's somebody else's saying that, and that somebody else is this fate abstract concept. It's not us. It's fate. It's like the collective events in a particular sequence unfolding in your life, and all that is pre-arranged, predetermined, and decided by somebody else. And that invisible force, but definitely shaped the outcome of your life. That's fate. Okay. 寿means longevity. And when we pair it with fate, that's our Chinese way to say lifespan. The fate of your longevity is your lifespan. Very logical. 天命, heavenly fate. And that's even like a heftier as your destiny. So it's almost like my calling. I'm not living for myself. I'm not just living, carry out the script of my own, but it's some heavenly order. And that's my destiny. Well, I basically checked. What's the difference between destiny and fate? Okay, fate got this negative connotation. It's almost like unavoidable, uncontrollable, negative, like it's beyond your control. So again, it's humans self-excuse to say, this is fate. It's not my doing. It's beyond my control. Okay. Versus destiny. Destiny is more like a destination, right? It's not non-fungible. It simply means you have a goal orienting, and that's where you're heading to. It's not necessarily a negative ending versus fate. It's more like a negative result. So, okay. Anyways, humans' ways to trick ourselves, to use different words to our different psyche, right? Okay. 性 means 性. We explained that 性 character before is life's heart. So how our heart operating through life. That's our defining character. Even if in today's language context, 性 often is diminished, reduced to just very narrow span of our life, which is sex. But when it pairs with 命, nothing related to sex anymore. It's grander than that. 性命. Here, character fate. We're using these two big words together to mean your life. 性 actually mean your literal physical existence, your physical life, your own existence. It's not even talking about lifespan or how you spend your life. We're talking about your physical. Are you on or off? And we use 性 and 命 together. I guess your character's fate that gives you the sense of this is the ownership. Like you own this character, and you kind of own or determined by this fate, and this character's fate. That's your life. Whether you're going to have it or losing it. Okay. And when we're talking about fate, the first thing comes to a Chinese mind would be Beethoven's Symphony Number 5. I believe it's a C minor, and that's the Symphony of Fate, and Chinese translated as 命运交响曲. Okay, and wow, look at that! It's over 200 years ago. Still pounding on our doors or eardrums whenever we think about how fateful things can be. And that's this music transcends time, reaching to new generations of years. And each time when dong, 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 dong happens, and we all feel, that power of fate in our life. Thank you for your time. See you next